Yo, 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 everybody, what's up, what's up? Welcome to the KillJoy Jake YouTube channel, where we're talking all things Scream, horror in general, and maybe even some Oscar talk tonight. Because there's a lot to talk about that feller named Oscar. Little golden guy. He's like yay big. This maybe a little bigger than that, but but yeah, lots to talk about in the world of film. So I'm sure we're gonna get to all of it. Of course, Scream is the main topic tonight, but if you have other things you want to throw out there, there's always fun stuff to talk about in the world of horror, not even just Scream. So whatever we want to get into, let's do it. I am currently streaming over on Kick and YouTube right now, and over on Kick, we have Kyle Scunn hanging out with us, saying, "Good evening, Jake. Did you see the second trailer to Woman in the Yard? It looks really good. I like the dedicated to Wes Craven picture, the new Craven Plaza for Scream 7. Have a good night." Hell yeah, dog. Yeah, I'm really excited for that Woman in the Yard. I feel like that's one of those movies that could go either way for me. I might either really like it or maybe not. I'm really on the fence about how I feel about this one. It's Blumhouse, which is a studio that's been pretty hit or miss lately. I don't know. I really don't know what this one's going to be all about, but I'm hoping it's good. I am. I'm hoping it's good. Hoping it's a banger. I'm excited to see what it's all about. And let's hope it rocks. Let's see what it's all about. Shot by Shot is saying, "What's up? How's it going? Welcome in, my friend. Welcome in. What's up, Jake, man? Are you scared? Gunner's terrified by this stream. Jeez, didn't mean to frighten you, my friend. The forehead's big and shiny, but it won't hurt you, I promise. This is a weird one, but how did you get into interviewing people? So for the most part, most of the interviews that I've had have either been people reaching out to me, but sometimes I'll reach out to someone and be like, "Hey, would love to have you on the page." I actually just reached out to someone who's going to be joining us soon, which is exciting. So I'm kind of hyped for that. But yeah, yeah, I just kind of, I'm not going to lie, most of them have been people reaching out to me. I'm friends with a few people who make movies, which is cool. And some of them have come on the page often. You might remember Master Chaos has been on here a few times. Jose, he makes movies for the Asylum now. He's made a bunch of movies with them, and I've been able to interview a ton of the people that worked on those recently. The Jagged Edge production guys have been on here a few times, some of the Terrifier folks. But I'm thankful for it. It's been great. We've had some really fun conversations on here. I got to talk to Michael Levy from Terrifier. I got to talk to Scott Chambers from Jagged Edge and Reese Frake Waterfield. They were great. They're always great to have on. Honestly, my favorite though is probably Doug Bradley. I got to have him on the page a little while ago, and that was awesome. I'm still like over the moon about that. That was like the most nervous I've ever been for a live stream ever. I don't know why I did that live, but live and learn, baby. Live and learn. King Matthew the Third, how's it going up, my friend? Oh, maybe not so good. Saying, "What's up, Jake? Sorry I missed your last few streams. I ended up in the hospital having emergency surgery done, but I'm in recovery now. I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope you're okay, my friend." It's no good. And you're also asking a little Scream question here. We'll get that in for you. I'm so sorry about your immediate emergency surgery. That's terrible. Also, while Patrick Dempsey doesn't have time to fully return, what did they have Mark and Cade return in the post-credits for Scream 7 like The Rock and Fast X did? That's hilarious. I love that. Any chance to talk about Fast X, I will take. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely a possibility. I think what I was talking about more so in my video is that he could come back in a future entry. They could whittle their way down to that, right? Carve some sort of new path to get to that point. And I'm really not against that. I think that could be something that really fuels a story that focuses on Sidney Prescott, a happy accident, if you will, that I'm kind of into. Again, it seems like the main Scream movies, if they're going with the plan that we kind of think they're going with right now, is going to focus on Sidney while they do some spin-offs that are just kind of Ghostface centric. It's a Ghostface character out there killing people in these side movies, and doesn't necessarily have to do anything with legacy characters, whatever. If that's the case, that's kind of been the big guess, the big rumor as to where the franchise goes next. I wouldn't necessarily be against that, but again, they need a good reason to keep following Sidney. This could be that, maybe we're fixing her life. We're going to destroy it in this movie, but then fix it for the next couple of films, which, like, okay, again, you're giving me a reason to tell more story. I'm into it. They got to find that. They got to find that here in Scream 7, especially if these trilogy rumors are true, but who knows? Paula, hello. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, my friend? How are you? Welcome to the Scream stream. We're going to scream. Ah! 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 The Real Ribbit is hanging out with us on Kick, saying, "Hey, Jake, I'm here for the views." Thank you. You're too kind. Appreciate that. Thank you for watching on Kick. Means a lot. Hopefully we can get some more followers on there. I think I need like 70 followers before we're at like a monetized point on Kick, but we're at 18, so it's something. So we'd love to see that. We'd love to see that happen. Erica's with us too, saying, hey, yo, Erica, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Thanks for being here. Thanks for modding tonight. Yes, and thank you for keeping the trolls in line. I appreciate that. RJ Skarenki, thank you for being a member, saying, let's get ready for a Scream stream after the god-awful Oscars last night. Yeah, you know, I'm happy that Mikey Madison won, first Ghostface actress to win an Oscar, which is really cool. Very much so good for her. Nosferatu got snubbed like crazy, and I don't know, man. The Substance only won one Oscar. So disappointing. Got my hopes up for nothing. And the worst thing, the most god-awful thing of all is the fact that multiple horror movie actors who passed away in the last year or so did not get recognized. And I think that is just absolutely terrible. The Oscars should be ashamed. The Academy, I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there. It's getting sloppier and sloppier every year, and I just don't think the Oscars represents film the way that it once did. So it's a joke of a show at this point. But I guess it is still cool that people are still winning those statues. But I don't know. To me, that's all they are. They're just stupid golden little statues. I could care less. Alex Anarnia of Asian is saying, Jake, what's up, dog? The Cell from 2000. Vincent. 2000 Vincent. That sounds like a movie from 2000. It's pretty violent in the end scene where J-Lo brutally kills Vincent, rips his nipples off. You got to see it. Well, you just spoiled it for me, Alex Anarnia. And now I don't know if I want to see it. I'm going to be honest. Well, someone's getting his nipples ripped off. Maybe I do want to see it. Joe Bamba saying, yo, what's up, Joe? How's it going? Thanks for being a member, my friend. Appreciate you. Appreciate you a ton. Thanks for being here, Joe. The Ribbits here on YouTube, too, saying, what's up? What's up, dude? What's up? What's up? Thank you. Thanks for stopping by both platforms. We got Dominic St. Clair with a big old bucket of popcorn saying, hey, yo, what's up? What's up? Looks like some tasty popcorn there. Cartoon food looks tastier than regular food. I don't know what it is. John Best is saying, hey, everyone, how are you all doing today? Chilling out, John. I'm the best I can be. What's up, fella? How are you today, my friend? The best I can be, baby. Let's go. We're in a good mood today. Things can only get up from here. I spent 4 hours this morning trying to figure out how to do my taxes this morning because I'm in the middle of something ridiculous. I'm like, why is this a problem? So this is the best part of my day is where I'm at. It cannot get worse than 4 hours on the phone with someone trying to figure out where a form is. We're vibing now. We're absolutely vibing now. Yo, Jake, I'm watching you with my girlfriend right now. I'm a happy man. Hell yeah, Billy boy. What's up, Billy boy's girlfriend? Am I talking to Billy in Sydney? But perhaps. What's up, fellas? Welcome in. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate you. We got Ezra Hestia on Kick watching us too, saying, I am watching you from Turkey. I'm watching you from Ohio. It's wild here. What's up, my friend? How are you? Thanks for watching from Turkey. Thanks for being here. Marquise is with us too, saying, hey, buddy, what's up, fella? Yo, yo, yo. GND Aaron YT is saying, howdy, Jake. The guy who voiced Scorpion from Mortal Kombat movie is the GOAT. Which one? I'm just curious. Which Mortal Kombat? Because I like them all. I think they're all really fun. But the newest one is like my favorite. Everyone shits on that new Mortal Kombat. I love it. I think it's great. I had a really good time with it. Please don't forget to hit the like button, everyone. Please go ahead. Go ahead and smash that thing. Go ahead and give it a smash. I saw the Screamboat trailer. It's wild. It is absolutely wild. I can't. That one's gonna be insane, dude. I can't wait to see what that's all about. Cody is saying, I'm glad you're live. The GOAT John Cena finally turned heel over the weekend, so I'm sad he was my childhood favorite WWE superstar. Also, how are you in Madison? And chat, hit the like and sub. Do it or knife. Dear God. I did not, I'm not a wrestling guy at all, so I have no idea what any of that means, but hell yeah, John Cena's crazy. That's all I got. I've seen him in movies. I got, that's what I got there. How are me and Madison? We're great. We're trying to find we're trying to find a place to stay currently. We're getting it. We finally got something figured out in those regards. So things are moving along, but I kind of just I've been getting into a little bit of a rut here with a few things. I thought my taxes were going to be over on Sunday, and there's just this big thing that has popped up, and I don't know. I spent 4 hours trying to figure it out. I still have no conclusion. So it's a bunch of crazy shit over here. But that on top of the merch store just won't show up. for some reason here on YouTube. I couldn't tell you why. It's telling me that people in the US can't see your store for some reason, even though there's really cool shit over there, like this Chicken Man shirt, this Chicken Man beanie, this Wes Craven shirt with a crazy new logo on the back of it. I mean, I'm just saying, some cool stuff over there. Just YouTube won't display it for some reason. I couldn't tell you why. What else we got going on here? Sorry about the shameless plug. But anyways, Drew Seth is saying, I just got done watching your most recent video upload. Now I'm here. Thank you for watching it. I appreciate it. That was a really fun theory to get into. Really wanted to just talk about something different, just wanted to get into something else. With the whole Mark Evans character, and I kind of found a way to do that with today's video while also providing an update. It was fun. It's a fun video. I'm happy with it. I'm hoping to get into some different topics this week. Scream obviously has been a focus of the page, but I really want to start making an effort to try to talk about all the bigger franchises I get into on this channel. I'm trying to find a way to do that every week if I can. So I want to have a Terrifier, maybe a Saw video go up this week if possible, just because I want to do it. Mr. Rick, though, is saying two things that happened over the weekend that we thought were never going to happen. A Ghostface won an Oscar and John Cena turned heel. So I know the last was horror related, but sorry. No, you're good. I can't talk to wrestling. I got nothing. But I had to do some research watching the movie Dark Match recently because I didn't understand some of the terminology they were using. I was like, I don't know what any of this means, but okay, rock on. So I guess I know what it means to be a heel at this point. Like, you're a bad guy in it, but I ain't gonna say any more than that. I'm just gonna embarrass myself. Mr. Rick, thank you for being a member, my friend. I appreciate you. What else do we got going on? Is Scream 7 worth watching? I don't know. We haven't seen it yet. I hope it rocks though. I hope it's good. We'll see. We'll see what it's all about. Definitely a mixed bag as of right now. It's definitely could go either way. I think it's a 50-50 movie for me right now. Chase is saying, what's good, bro? How's it going? Thanks for being here. Thanks for talking a little horror with us. Gonna get into some Ghostface action tonight. The best kind of action, let me tell you. The Real Ribbon is really excited for Scary Movie 6, too, as they're saying over on Kick. I'm hyped for that one. Scary Movie 6 is going to be fun. We also have the Wayans brothers talking about doing a White Chicks 2, which is ridiculous. I feel like if these movies are good, though, they could be bringing back they could absolutely be bringing back comedies, and that's like such a must for me, man. We don't have comedies anymore. Nobody wants to go all in on them. And I think the biggest problem with that is we have so many movies nowadays that are trying to make everybody happy. We have movies that are like, let's try to make literally everyone who comes to see our film enjoy this, or have some kind of bit in there that's for everyone. I think what works so well about comedies is that it's only funny to one specific group. Movies like, I think, Anchorman, Tommy Boy, Dumb and Dumber, all these movies like have a certain demographic that's down to watch these movies. Not everyone's going to find them funny, and that's totally fine. I know people who can't stand Will Ferrell. I know people who can't stand Seth Rogen or some of these different actors and actresses out there who make these movies. But I think that's okay. With a comedy, it shouldn't relate to everybody. If it does, maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it's not actually that outrageously hilarious. But I wish that Hollywood would try to put a little more effort into that, to try to make a bunch of comedies. Because while you can't make one comedy that's going to relate to everybody, you can make a ton of comedies that do end up relating to all these different groups out there, and makes them laugh. I don't know. I don't get it. To me, it's like, do it. Just start making comedies again. It's just like horror. Why is horror thriving right now? You can do horror on a budget. You can make cheap horror movies and they can turn out big crowds. It's the same thing with comedy, but nobody wants to take a chance on it. Everyone is terrified of going too far with certain jokes or something, and it's wild to me. I'm like, man, I don't know. I miss them. I wish Hollywood would take a chance on them like how we do with horror movies, but we don't. But that's my rant. I'll get off my soapbox. I want comedies back. Erica's reminding everybody to like and subscribe to the page. Do appreciate that. And also check out my gaming channel, GullGotha. There's the link for it right there. We are going to be streaming Wednesday, I believe. I think Wednesday is going to be the first stream this week. I wanted to do one today, but like I said, I was on the phone for 4 hours trying to figure out tax shit. It is a clusterfuck. But we're getting back to streaming some games this week. I'm going to try to play what was it? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre game this week. I'm going to try to bounce back and forth between that and Dead by Daylight, I think, just to switch it up, so I'm not doing the same thing every single stream. But stop on by. Please subscribe to that. We are less than 400 subscribers away from 1,000 right now. So thank you guys for getting me to past 600 on the last stream. That was really cool. But let's try to reach 700 now. I think we can do it. Erica's got the link there. Thank you guys for subbing. Appreciate that. Marley Kai is with us saying, imagine if someone did a 3D printed toy of Jake. That would be... that's kind of terrifying. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared when it comes to that. What are you doing with that toy, my friend? Dear God. Just Kevin is with us. Scream 7, please, many chase scenes. Many of them. Get them all in there. Well, I know for sure there's going to be at least one. I can't say any more than that, but I know for sure, I can guarantee you 100% there's going to be at least one of those bad boys in there. Stella G is also with us. What's up, Stella? Happy Monday evening, all. Happy Monday. Very good stuff there. We got to keep it happy on Mondays because it's kind of the most depressing day. So let's change that here. Let's have a better outlook on Mondays, damn it. Scott Walker's here with us too, saying, "Hey Jake, how you going today?" I'm vibing out, chilling, drinking my coffee, doing a little stream. I looked up some news about Stu for Scream 7. It's been confirmed that he's going to be the killer, mastermind. I looked it up on Google. I promise you, if that was the case, I would know about it. Ty Lee's here with us as well. Thank you for being a member, Ty. Saying, how did you like Hellraiser upon rewatch? I watched Bloodlines. I liked it more than Inferno, I'd say. They're both solid for what they are. So, you know, it's funny, Ty, I ended up rewatching the 2022 Hellraiser, and I think I like that film even better than before. I've seen the original Hellraiser like a million times. I've been really feeling it lately. But Madison really wanted to watch Nightmare on Elm Street instead of Hellraiser. I was just kind of feeling supernatural, slasher, killer, whatever. So we put that one on. She had never seen Nightmare on Elm Street, which was sick. She really liked it. She enjoyed it. She was pretty critical of the acting, which I thought was funny, which is kind of rough in the original Nightmare, but I still love it. It's still a great movie. But the Hellraiser 2022, man, that's a great film. I really enjoyed that. I definitely have a better appreciation for it now that I'm a little more familiar with the main actor and actress. It's Rafe from Outer Banks, if you guys watch that show, and Odessa Zion, who is in the new, is it Until Dawn? Yeah, the new Until Dawn movie. So knowing a little more about where their careers are going, I think I have a little bit better of an idea of who these people are, you know, and then seeing them in this flick, it's cool. Hellraiser 2022, man, it's a brutal film. It's got some awesome practical effects, just so much to love about it. A really crazy story and a lot better than some of the weirder Hellraiser sequels, man. But I'll tell you what, I do love that original trilogy. Bloodline is one I would love to rewatch, though, because I think I should give it a better shot. So many people say that Hellraiser Bloodline, a lot of people do like that one. A lot of people like the fourth entry. I don't know if it's for me or not. It's one of those where I'm like, it's so weird, man. It's so out there. It's got a crazy story. We're in the future in space, and then we're going all the way back in time to when the puzzle box was created. It's intense. It's an intense story, but I don't know. It's a lot. I'll definitely have to give it another watch. But you're saying you liked it more than Inferno. Both solid for what they are. Hey, hell yeah, dog. Inferno's definitely got that made-for-TV feel, you know, but it's Scott Derrickson, and that definitely resonates a little bit in that film. You get a little taste of his early style, which is cool. So I do like that. I do like that one a lot. What else is going on? We got Raptor Crasher Incorporated saying, I submitted my first movie script to the WGA. Hey, congrats on that. That's exciting. Hope it goes well. Beer Belly Angler is saying 6 p.m. time to talk Scream, baby. Don't forget to like the live stream, everyone. Keep up the good work, dog. Thank you so much, Beer Belly Angler. I appreciate it. Catch me a fish, dog. Now I want some fish. I haven't had good fish in a minute. We have a pound, like a whole pile of sand here, saying, is it just me or does anyone else think that Lauren Levera would be a great Ghostface? I'd love to see her in a Scream movie. I think that would be fun. You want to talk about a brand new, some sort of brand new character to follow in a Scream movie. You want a new heroine. There you go. Lauren Levera. I mean, if they only make one more Terrifier flick, I think that's the route to go. That'd be fun. Over on Kick, we got some folks hanging out with us saying, Jake, I believe Johnny will be the next icon. Also, I'm why did I say podcasting? Also, I'm predicting that after Terrifier 4, Damian Leone will work on Friday the 13th. I want Johnny to be a new icon so badly. It's going to take another good movie, though. You know, that's the thing. In a Violent Nature 1, very strong. I loved it. Easily one of my favorite horror flicks from last year. They got to find a way to kind of, I don't want to say top it in the sequel, but just make another really good flick. How can they find that? I hope so. I really do. It's a tough concept to strike multiple times, I think, but maybe they're able to do it. And then also Damien Leone tackling Friday the 13th. Yes, I think there is a lot of room for improvement in that series that Damien could absolutely bring. Biggest thing I'm talking about there is the kills. When it comes to the Friday movies, the MPA, formerly MPAA, just butchered that thing to shreds, and kind of in the opposite way than you would think. They took away the blood and guts. They chopped at it without any blood and guts. That's no fun. We want to see blood and guts, and they took that away from our boy Jason here. So in a new movie, could they theoretically get those movie rights unraveled over at New Line in the theoretical proverbial New Line vault? Could we unravel those, give those to Damien somehow, and have him just go nuts with Jason? I'd be very much so into that. That's again, room for improvement. Would love to see those modernized and done better, maybe here in the modern day. We also have Manum 1M throwing out a big old W and a ghost with a crown. What's up, fella? How's it going? Thanks for being with us tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for talking a little horror. What else? Who else is with us tonight? We got Phoenix Fire 420 saying hello. Thanks for the lifted membership. Lifted? Gifted. I was like, hang on a minute. Did you steal one? How do you steal one? That's crazy. Oh my God. Totally forgot about this. That's okay though. Everything's fine. Yeah, so I did just start a goal. If we get 10 super chats in the next hour or so, Jake will go for another hour. And that's on top of the 22 minutes we've already done. So look at those bad boys. How about them apples? I'm feeling crazy tonight. Phoenix 420 though. there we go. Yeah, rock on, dog. You're welcome. I can't remember who gifted them. I think it might have been Scott. Might have been Scott Royston who gifted it. But congrats. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Justin Alexander is with us too, saying I've always wanted a Chucky versus the Leprechaun movie. Okay. They're both like smaller fellas going at each other. I think that would be funny. Hey, I'm all about it. I'm all about a little Chucky doll running around trying to stab the Leprechaun. I think they're kind of evenly matched too because they both have supernatural powers, right? So I could totally see that being the case. That would be a fun one. It would be a fun versus. So many people are talking about putting Art the Clown in a smaller thing. In a versus thing, I mean, like some sort of like Art the Clown versus another slasher. I just don't know who it would be. There's nobody like right now that's kind of in the same spot as Art. With Jason and Freddy, they were both huge horror icons around the same time in the early 80s. We don't really have a counter to Art the Clown right now. There are more slasher movies on the horizon, and we might get some more icons here soon, but nothing Art the Clown sized. So I don't know. We'll see what that's all about. Am I going to see Mickey 17 this weekend? I'm really considering reviewing this one on the page this week. It's sci-fi, it's not necessarily sci-fi horror, but I am considering covering this one. It's the new flick from Bong Joon-ho, who of course did Parasite in 2019. I loved that flick, so I'm definitely excited for this one. I want to see what it's all about. John is saying it's fucked up how they didn't pay tribute to those actors that we've lost. I know. It's almost frustrating with some of them. Michelle Trachtenberg just passed away. So if they saved that for next year or something, whatever. But they talked about Gene Hackman, which also happened recently, which is super unfortunate. But I don't know. I just it's all bad. It's death. It sucks whenever it happens. But I just wish that they were able to have included these people. Tony Todd, I mean, from Candyman. Are you kidding me? Why is he not up there? I don't know. It's upsetting to say the least. Olivia Hussey not on there either. I don't know. Fuck. It blows is what it is. It's truly upsetting. What else is going on? We got. The new Mortal Kombat movie is amazing. I love the new Mortal Kombat movie. I had so much fun with it. I can't wait for the sequel. King Matthew III is saying, I also have another prediction for 7 that Mindy will die since Randy died before Dewey, and Mindy is the new Randy. Makes sense. Mindy dies before Chad, who's the new Dewey. I hope that if they kill one of these characters, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I don't even know if I want that to happen in the opening scene. I think that they could kill the twins in the opening to say that this Ghostface is the new big bad. This Ghostface is going to do some damage in this one. It's going to be brutal. We're coming out the gate killing legacy characters. I just don't even know. I don't know. Is that the vibe of this new Scream? Is that how they want to introduce this? It really does. it really does. I don't know. I'm not sure what the vibe is with Scream 7 anymore. The more we learn about it, the more I'm like, I don't know what, I'm not 100% sure what they're going for here. I'm getting this mix between Scream 3 and Scream 4. So I don't know if they're going to go for brutal Ghostface or not, even though that's what they're saying. I don't, it's really a tough, it's a tough thing here because I don't know. I'm thinking about what Kevin Williamson likes about Scream 3 and what he doesn't, and what he's going to emphasize on here. You know what I mean? I'm definitely seeing there's things from the previous movies, especially 3 and 4, that are absolutely coming to light here in this new one. I'm curious what they'll focus on. That's kind of my biggest question in terms of tone. Is how, what are those things from the past that we're really going to hit on here? Is it going to have that goofy campiness of Scream 3? Probably not. Will it have the over-the-top brutal elements of and bloody elements of Scream 4? I think so, but I don't know quite yet. I hope it does though, because that would be fun. That would be really fun, and I would love a super over-the-top killer in this one. How do we do that? How do we establish that? I'm not sure, but I'm here for it. Steph 2007 is saying, hi bro, how are you? I'm fantastic. You're great, by the way. Holy shit, this is awesome. Is it true that allegedly a character's early death was spoiled for Scream 7? I don't think so. No, I don't. To my knowledge, I don't believe so. I know about some, there's some things going around right now where I'm like, probably shouldn't talk about that. I don't know anything about this necessarily. I have seen some videos, some things where I'm like, definitely shouldn't be talking about that anytime soon. I actually had somebody reach out to me recently, like an hour ago, with even more information potentially. And I don't know. I really shouldn't say one thing or the other. Has anything been spoiled in terms of that though? No, honestly, what I'm keeping away. What I'm keeping away from you isn't necessarily a spoiler in terms of who's gonna die. It's more so about like, I just feel like this person in a video that I've seen is definitely not going to be Ghostface based on what I've seen. And I would not want to spoil, I wouldn't want to spoil that because it's like, that takes a person out of the mystery. I have not seen Scream 7. I do not know everything about it. And to potentially give away something that could absolutely kill the mystery for people before the film even comes out, I just feel like would be irresponsible. And I personally don't want to really even get into that, because that's a big part of this. That was a big complaint with Scream 6 as well. A lot of people complained and said, oh man, Scream 6's mystery sucks. Like this blows that this one was so obvious, and I would hate for that to get spoiled for anybody and start to, because it's one of those things where it's like, maybe I give out a piece of information that's too much, people put 2 and 2 together and they can figure out some other things, and that's I would want to avoid that if I could, so I will. But Davey Deathray is saying we need comedies that'll take chances again. Don't be afraid to be brash, edgy, or even offensive. The point of comedy is to break the tension and provide some relief. And my God, Davey, we could use some of that right now. I need a good laugh. I really need a good laugh, man. Oh, it's crazy out here. Eli Cortez is saying, what's up, Jake and chat? What's up, Eli? How's it going? Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Who else is with us? Villain Killin' Dylan. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, fella? How's it going? Welcome in. Croctober. Get the crock pots out, baby. We're making some. What are you even making a crock pot? We're making some baked pasta. I think that's the only thing I've made in a. I don't use crock. I'm not a crock pot guy. I don't know. I like pan frying shit. I don't know why. That's my favorite. I get it in a thing and do this. I like doing the flippy thing too. I'm such a good cook, guys. I promise. I really am. I really am. But maybe not at everything. I'm no Gordon Ramsay. Marley Kai is saying I want to see a comedy movie where it stars Henry Cavill, Alan Richardson, and Aaron Taylor Johnson. That's a wild matchup, but I love it. I'm all about something like that. All 3 of those actors I especially really like. Imagine if Jake has a secret cameo in Scream 7 because he deserves it so much. Also, Jake needs to be in T4. Like, come on. I agree. I agree with that last one. All I'm gonna say is Damian Leone has tweeted one time. I added him. I added my boy on Twitter, and I said, So I think someone tweeted it out and I retweeted it or something along the lines of like Jake should cameo in Terrifier 4, and I'm like, Damien Leone, my email's open. I'm just, and I remember he replied something along the lines of, if anyone deserves it, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm checking my email every day, Damien. I'm just saying, I will gladly get stabbed in the face by Art the Clown. So offer still stands. That's all I'm gonna say. So we'll gladly let Art the Clown rip my face apart, like Chris Jericho. That would be so cool. What else do we got going on? A reimagining of Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds called Flocktober. It's like October, but with more birds. Dear God. That's brutal out here. Which movie would you like to see a parody of in Scream 6? You know, or Scary Movie 6. I've said Scream 6 so many times on this page. Yeah, I just default to that every time I see the number 6 now. But yeah, Scary Movie 6. What do I want to see parodied on there? I mean, definitely the new Scream movies. There's a lot. I think there's a lot to make fun of there. In terms of some of the behind the scenes stuff, especially. Would love to see that. I'd love to see them take a shot at that, because that's the essence of Scary Movie. We've been doing that since that franchise started. I would love to see, Terrifier get a little beating, just because it would be fun. Again, I love all these movies, but Scary Movie, it's fun, it's playful. It's making fun of these things in a very juvenile way, and kind of making its own unique, weird story out of it. I'm down. I'm down for whatever they end up doing. I would love to have like a clown in the background stabbing people in the face, totally unbeknownst to our characters. That feels like such a Scary Movie bit, like they're just having this normal conversation and the killer's in the background stabbing someone in the face or something. Feels like that scene in the original where Ghostface is just mopping up in the background. Like, I love that. That's hilarious. But some, Terrifier, Scream, I know what you did last summer. Maybe even some of the more newer stuff like Megan and Longlegs too. I'd love to see some parodies of those. I love how the original finds like these little moments to make fun of things, and some things are a little more subtle than others, right? Like I think the Blair Witch joke in the original Scary Movie is a good one, where it's like you might not have even realized that was a Blair Witch parody unless you had seen that movie in 1999, right? But now, going back and watching it, you're just like, why is Gale Weathers blowing snot bubbles? What is going on here? So I don't know. I think that to me could be fun, but we'll see. Is it just me, or does anyone else think that Lauren Rivera would be a great Ghostface? I could see her being Ghostface too. I'm talking a little. I was definitely kind of more in the mindset of she could be our new, heroine that we're following, or our new hero, going out and killing the new Ghostface. But I also wouldn't mind seeing her revealed as a killer with a crazy new motive. It would be such an opposite of what we're expected from her. You know what I mean? She is this. She's literally an angel in shining armor in the Terrifier movies. So now to kind of reverse that and make her the bad guy. What does that look like? That's absolutely been a conversation when it comes to Scream 7. My, a big speculative thing that I have about the movie is I definitely think McKenna Grace is going to be a big component of it, whether that be Ghostface or the opening kill. I feel like it's going to be one or the other with her character. So and that's a big one. If she's Ghostface, the biggest thing I know her from is Phoebe Spangler in the new Ghostbusters, but she has also played villainous characters before. So I don't know, what are they going to do with that? I don't know, but I'm all about it. I'm excited to find out. What else is happening here? We got Catbread with us saying I'm doing good. That's good to hear. Good. Question, Jake, does liking on your console and phone count as the same like, or can you like the YouTube twice? I think you can like on various accounts, but if it's the same account on both, then no. I appreciate that though. That does mean a lot. What else is going on here? I feel like I'm missing something. That's what I'm missing. I knew I got a notification for this, and I'm like, I am missing something. Let's catch up to that. JT Owsley, thank you for the 5, my friend. Appreciate that. The best kind of action is ignoring the horror community and your girlfriend to go do a deep dive on 1114. Jesus. I've seen hundreds of movies, and this is the most entertaining. JT loves this flick so much, man. That makes me so happy. I'm really glad that you dig it so much. One day I'll definitely be making this happen. Definitely do some sort of video on it. I'm doing weekly reviews for my Patreon supporters right now, so that's absolutely absolutely that could absolutely be on the list at some point. This week though, I'm talking about Grafted on Shudder, which is I'm really excited to get into that one. It's a brand new horror flick that came out earlier this year, and I just have not had a chance to get into that one. But thankfully, with this Patreon series, I'm able to talk about some of the weirder stuff I'm excited for. So I'm really hyped for that. So definitely check out that review this Friday if you're an Art the Clown member. And again, there's already a bunch of reviews up there. If you're like, well, why should I become an Art the Clown member now? Well, there's a ton of reviews, and there's only going to be more. There's only going to be more and more and more and more every single week. So check it out. JT, though, thank you for the 5. 1114's on that list. It's coming up, my friend. I promised. I promise. 1114. It's a fun movie to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not seen this one yet, it's really interesting. It plays around with various different like points in time all around this one specific event. It's a really fun movie, and it kind of feels similar to something like Pulp Fiction or Deadpool that kind of like bounce around different parts of time to tell a story in the present. It's interesting, but definitely give it a watch. It's a good one. Mr. Rick, thank you for the 2 as well, saying ain't you worry what you know might ruin for you. Ain't you worried what you know might ruin it for you? Yes, but it's nothing too bad. Like for what I know about Scream 7, am I worried that it's going to ruin the film for me? No. I honestly, what I know is not the biggest spoiler that I've ever heard in my life. So I'm not necessarily super worried. It kind of just, it tells me that one character is probably not going to be Ghostface, but it does not spoil. It doesn't really spoil too much for me. But again, it's something I just wouldn't want to put out there to the general public. I just don't think it would be fair. You know, the movie doesn't even have a trailer yet. We're months and months away from a trailer to give you an idea of what the Ghostface mystery is going to be in this flick already. I just feel like that's just not really fair. I'll come up with my theories all day, every day. That's one thing that's like, oh, what if they did this? I did that today in today's video about a potential idea for what could come next for the Scream franchise. But I'm never going to put something out there saying like, oh man, that person's not Ghostface. No way that's going to happen. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, not. There's some things where it's just too far. I will also say, to elaborate, this was not a character I was speculating would be Ghostface anyways. But that's all. That's as far as I'm going to go with that one. But Mr. Rick, thank you for the 2. Appreciate you a ton. I think we're okay. In terms of spoilers. But there's definitely gonna be a point where I'm like, okay, we're done. We're done with all that. Don't want to make that happen. Don't want to learn any more than just that. Not the Ribbit has followed me over on Kick. Thank you for that. Saying, Jake, I'm watching on my alt too. Oh my God, you're just too kind. You're killing it over there, my friend. Thank you so much. Oh my God, appreciate that a ton. What else is going on? I'd like if Scary Movie 6 makes fun of supernatural stuff too. I mean, it doesn't have to be just slashers, I mean, that's just kind of what's popular right now. But man, there's a lot more than just that to talk about in terms of horror. I mean, there's so much. I mean, The Substance is super popular. They could even get into something like that. That just won an Oscar. I mean, for God's sake, you can really get into something like that. I mean, even the Alien franchise is popping again. That and Evil Dead Rise. I mean, oh my God, there's so many different movies that have come out just in the last couple of years that I'm sure Scary Movie could make fun of. And even going back to Scary Movie 2, which came out, was it just a year after the original Scary Movie? A year or 2 years? I mean, they're making fun of The Exorcist in the opening scene of that one. So nothing is off the table with Scary Movie 6. Maybe there's some new stuff. Maybe there's some callbacks to other classics. Why not? Why keep it to just one thing? I don't think so. What franchise are you absolutely sick of seeing sequels to? Mine personally is The Purge and Halloween. Big Mike has a shelf life. and is a less is more character. I agree. Wicker Sticks, I love that response, by the way. That's very funny. I do really agree about The Purge. I've been kind of done with The Purge for a few movies now. That's a series for me that peaked in the second and third movie. I think there were some really fun ideas explored there, but do we need 5 Purge movies? No. We have a 6th one apparently on the way as well, and I'm just like, man. Oh my God, I'm good. I get it. Message has gotten across. Let's move on to something else. But yeah, I'm kind of sick of the Purge movies. They were fun once in theaters, especially 2 and 3, but I'm kind of done with them at this point. Halloween, I agree that less is more. I just feel like the problem with a lot of modern Halloween movies is they're not so much the new ones, but kind of. I feel like there's a lot of Halloween movies where they're trying to explain Michael, like exactly what you're talking about, where we could just have more films which focus on Michael just the simple premise of Michael escaping and killing people. And I think that's all we ever really need for more Halloween. You know, we could just have Michael go into different locations going after different people for whatever reason. He's the boogeyman. You know what I mean? I don't need a 100% concrete reason why he goes to his bedroom and stares out the window. You know, I think it almost goes against the character. I do agree. I think they're kind of at a point with Halloween where it's like a lot of people are denying that there's any more good ideas left, especially after Halloween Ends just kind of decided, hey, you know what? We're sick of Michael Myers. We want to tell a story about literally anything else. That's the vibe I get from that movie, at least. I get it. I get why some people are just done with it. And they're like, okay, Halloween's done. Let's move on to something else. But I think there's so much potential to do kind of what you're talking about here, a less is more version of just a big story in that universe. Just give me Michael running around killing people in the 70s, man. That is all I want from a new Halloween flick. I mean, I don't even need Jamie Lee Curtis or anybody back. I just want Michael killing people. It's a simple franchise. That's how it should be. I think some of the worst ones are the ones that get overly complicated. But I agree. Halloween should stay simple. Imagine if you fall asleep and just see a old Freddy. If you think about it, I don't think you could run because he's still got dream powers. And don't forget the power glove. He'll get you with that thing, man. I saw Freddy's Dead, okay? That's the scariest movie in the bunch. I'm kidding. Not the Ribbit is asking when the next GullGotha live stream will be. Likely Wednesday. Wednesday around probably 3 p.m. Eastern. I can't tomorrow. I'm a little busy tomorrow, but I believe sometime Wednesday. But I'm really trying to get those GullGotha streams back up and running. We were supposed to have one yesterday too, and shit has just been insane. Filing taxes is a YouTuber. The hardest part of the job. I'm dead serious. The hardest part of doing all of this is trying to figure out taxes every single year. And dear God, Hayden Herbert is saying, watched The Monkey about a week ago. Really enjoyed it. Very nice, Hayden. I liked it too. It's probably one of my favorites of the year so far. I don't think it's my number one, but I had a very good time with it. It's a film that takes a lot of swings. I had a very good time with it. It's super over the top, comically ridiculous and brutal. It's not like, I think Oz Perkins even said something about, it's not Terrifier. It's definitely not trying to be that, where it's so gory and over the top that it's gonna freak you the fuck out. No, it's definitely not that vibe. But it's comical. It's cartoonish. Every kill in that movie likely wouldn't happen in the way that it does, and that's the fun of it. And I don't know. To me, I'm all about that. I really like those vibes. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see more from Oz Perkins. We have him coming out with a new movie in this year. He's got 2 movies coming out this year. We got The Monkey and we got Keeper. Another flick with Tatiana Maslany, who we just saw in The Monkey, interestingly enough. A small part, but still, something. A big part of it, a big part, even though it was a small part, if that makes sense. Jack Me Alf. Wonder what that could mean. Saying Megan will definitely meet Annabelle in Scary Movie 6. I could see them fighting. Doesn't Annabelle show up in Haunted House 2? Right? Maybe that same Annabelle will make an appearance here in Scary Movie 6. Jesus. I don't want Lauren tarnished from her angel-like character. She can't be a killer. Be too sad. It would be fun to see her in more stuff though, and we have Lauren Lavera in a new movie this month, I believe, called The Fetus. If you want to see a new Lauren Lavera horror flick that literally comes out this month, which is exciting. She's going to be in a new movie alongside Jaimin Hansu. Is that who it is? Who's from A Quiet Place, like Day One and the sequel, The Quiet Place 2. Really excited for that movie. Comes from Darren Lynn Bousman, who just did like a bunch of the Saw movies. He just did a movie too, and I cannot think of the name of it for the life of me. Something else from him as well, but he's got a bunch of great flicks under his belt. Netflix and Phil, what's up, Phil? How's it going? Love your Scream streams. Thank you, Netflix and Phil. Appreciate that a ton. I'm glad you're digging them. We got a lot of exciting things to talk about in terms of Scream. What are 3 things you want to see happen in Scream 7? 3 things I want to see happen. I really want to. I want a good Ghostface reveal. I want a brutal kill. I want to see. I want to see a good dynamic between Sydney and her family. I think maybe first and foremost, I want to see relationships between characters that feel fresh. You know, maybe not something that is repeating something from the past. Right? I got to catch up in the chat. I am like genuinely 20 minutes. I'm like almost 20 minutes behind. That's crazy. Okay, we're catching up here, but but yeah, I want to see some. I want to see some things and not be thinking to myself the whole time, that's from something else. That's from this. That's this. That's that. I don't want to be thinking about that. I don't know, man. Want some fresh things here. I finally watched the movie The Substance. It's an enjoyable film. I'd rate it 8 out of 10. That was my favorite horror film from last year. I loved The Substance so much. It blew my mind. My girlfriend hated it. And I will put it on the shelf as soon as I possibly can. That is top 3, top 2 horror film from the last 5 years for me personally. The Substance fucking rocked. I want more of that. I want more movies from Coralie Farjah, as I believe her name is pronounced. I think. What can I say? Horror recommendation for everyone, Terror Tuesday. Ooh, Terror Tuesday Extreme. It's an anthology series on Netflix inspired by a radio show in Thailand. Just finished watching season 1 over the weekend. Okay, Stella. Okay. I'm going to have to give this one a watch. I love anthology series. Those are a ton of fun. I love the VHS movies and like the Creepshow movies are very near and dear to my heart. Love those a ton. So much fun. Did I see the Woman in the Yard trailer, and did you like it if you did? It looks, again, it's one of those movies where I feel like it could go either way after watching, getting into more of the trailers. There was like an initial teaser a little while back, and now we got one today. Blumhouse trailers, I just don't know. I don't know how to feel about them anymore because I remember the Imaginary trailer came out and it was like really ridiculous. And I'm like, man, this could maybe be good. Maybe the trailer maybe there's just some dumb, silly things in this trailer. And then I watched the film and I'm like, yikes. Oh my God. Woman in the Yard though, it comes from a director who I really like. I cannot remember the person's name. Woman in the Yard. I'm going to look it up because I know this name. Jean Colette Sarah, maybe? I feel like I'm totally butchering that. He does The Shallows, and I think did he direct Carry On? Okay. Carry On was getting a lot of praise recently. Yeah, he did. He did direct that. That's cool. And Orphan and House of Wax. Yeah, I knew he had done a bunch of horror movies. I really like a lot of his stuff that he's put out so far, and hopefully this is just another one to add to the list. Just another banger out there. But we'll see. Hopefully, definitely a director I have much more faith in, opposed to some of the most recent Blumhouse flicks. But we'll see. We will see. Ray is with us saying, "Sup? What's up, bro? What's up, Ray? How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in." Malgus 2020 is saying, "Hey Jake, if you were the director of Scream 7, but the studio heads said they absolutely wanted Stu back alive, how would you make it happen?" My absolute favorite Stu is alive theory is the idea that he's been like in a lockdown prison this entire time, and our characters must go to him, maybe like beginning of the second act, let's say, to ask for answers, get some sort of clues as to what this new Ghostface is doing. Treat it like a Silence of the Lambs situation. I think that would be so fun because you could see Stu in a I guess you could explore Stu in a different light. Again, if you had to do it, that's how I would do it. Is he's in a prison cell and he's helping out our characters. I've joked around about him maybe escaping at the end, just like it's in Silence of the Lambs, but I think that movie. I think you got to find a way to separate yourself from Silence of the Lambs at a certain point. I would say if I were to approach that, I would probably keep him in jail, but he's some sort of unit to help our main characters stop a new Ghostface. That to me would be the best way to do it, I think, without making it the whole story. I don't know, just the way I hear it pitched all the time. And this is just my opinion. If you want to see this, then hey, rock on. I don't think it would get the reaction that a lot of us think it would. The way I always hear it pitched is people want to see Sydney get to corner Ghostface or something and then slowly takes off the mask in this super dramatic shot, and then it's Stu. And it's like, I just don't think that's going to have the gasp effect that a lot of people think it's going to. I mean, when it happened in Spider-Man No Way Home, it was exciting that first night in the theater, and now nobody talks about that movie anymore. You know, that is the only thing about that film that really has some substance. Besides that, it copies and pastes a lot of the great things about the other Spider-Man movies, and it's a big criticism I have of that flick. I think it's easily the weakest of the Tom Holland movies so far, without a doubt. It relies on that big cameo appearance of the other Spider-Mans from the past, which again, look, I was there opening night. I was excited as fuck. I grew up with the Spider-Man movies, man. That was so cool to see Tobey Maguire back. And honestly, yes, Andrew Garfield too. It was cool to see him there too. Even though it's the Tobey Maguire's my Spider-Man, okay? He always will be, forever and always. But I just don't think it's gonna maybe get some gasps opening night, maybe some little bit of excitement. But if the whole story relies on that, I have no interest in that film. Spider-Man No Way Home is a film I will never buy. I probably will never watch it again. There's nothing else to it besides that really exciting moment, and that bums me out. I think that sucks because it could have been a great movie. I think it could have been something really spectacular had they given a little more effort towards the story. It's the same thing with Deadpool and Wolverine, and the movie that I feel like a lot of people are pitching with Stu coming back is exactly that as well. What I love so much about Scream is the stories and some of the commentary angles that they're able to hit. I mean, when their back was up against the wall in 1999 and they had some really shitty producers telling them what to do, what did Scream do? They worked it into the story to make fun of these directors and just out them as the awful monsters that they were. That's what I want from Scream. I want Scream to be punk rock, not copy what everyone else out there is doing. That movie that everyone's pitching, that is just a copy and paste of everything else that is going on in the world of film right now. What Marvel tries to do with every movie besides Captain America: Brave New World, which I respect that film for doing, even if it's not the best. I don't know. I want to see Scream be punk rock like how it should be. That's the tone of those original movies. That's what I want to see brought back into Scream here in entry number 7. Can we find that with a new story revolving around Stu? I just don't think so. But you know, he's back whether we like it or not for Scream 7 in one way, shape, or form. Hopefully they're able to find a creative way to push the story forward, man. I hope so. I hope so at least. But that's I'm gonna get off my soapbox because everyone loves Stu, and I love Stu too. He's my favorite Ghostface. I would hate to see this franchise just copy and paste what everybody else is doing right now. That would bum me out. What else do we got? Jake needs us. We really got to get this Discord server going, man. I have so many weird adult things that's been going on in the last month or so that I've been so busy with. But at some point, I'm gonna do the Discord because it's been requested so many times. We got to do it at this point. We're making it happen. I promise. Who's the worst Ghostface? Says Kawi Mason. Who's the worst Ghostface? I really do got to think about that because there's some ones I don't love. I mean, you know, I think that probably one of the Kirsch siblings is probably my least favorite. You know, Ethan is a little more memorable to me for his death. You know, I'm constantly saying I think Ethan is my least favorite Ghostface. Maybe Quinn. I'm going to say probably, I think Quinn because I knew immediately when they didn't show her death that that wasn't real. I remember seeing that in the theaters and I'm like, why didn't they show that? You know what I mean? They showed us a dead body in the bathtub covered in blood. Why did they show us that? Yeah, I didn't buy that for a minute. Because that was kind of such a fail, I'm going to say Quinn probably, but Liana Liberado's a great actor. And she's got some great moments in that third act nonetheless, but my least favorite motive is probably Roman's. I just don't like Roman's motive. I think it's I don't know. I think it's kind of trash. But least favorite motive, I wouldn't say Scott Foley's my least favorite Ghostface though. I mean, again, he has so much to do with the overall plot of Scream. And there's elements to it I like, but there's other things about it that make it probably my least favorite motive. But I don't know. I mean, even it's the more simpler motives that work for me anyways. I like the idea that, you know, Jill is just some teenager in the in the 2000s, the 2010s who is trying to go viral like literally everybody else, but in a really fucked up and unique, awful way. And that to me, that's what makes Scream 4 so much fun to me. I want more things like that where it's like that is a down to earth, genuinely awful, cold reason to start killing all of your friends. And I want more things like that in Scream when it's simple and it's not trying to connect everything from the past all together. That's when Scream works the best, in my opinion. What else is going on here? We got 3 things Jake needs to do. 1 Discord server. 3 taxes with Jake stream. You don't want that, I promise. Cooking with Jake stream. I will do the cooking with Jake stream. That would be a ton of fun. Hamschgott 2.0 is saying Amber is my least favorite. Damn. Crapping on Mikey Madison on her parade week after winning after winning an Oscar. We're just crapping on her. That's brutal. I almost said John Carpenter's in the stream. Jason Carpenter here saying just made it in. Jake, dude, can you believe Scream 6 this weekend will be 2 years old? Oh my God, that's crazy. It's this weekend, really? I thought it was like what was it, like March 8th? Is that when Scream 6 came out? Why do I not remember this? That wasn't even that long ago. See, now I don't remember I don't even remember now. Like, when the fuck did this drop? I didn't type that. Scream 6, thank you. March 10th. Wow, yeah. Huh. That's a week from today. How about them apples? March 10th. That's crazy. You know what's fucking me up? The original release date was like the end of March in 2023, I think. But that's cool. Hell yeah, dog. Scream 6, it feels like it was yesterday. I remember covering that movie so closely. There was so much excitement for that one. I miss those days. I really do. It's fun talking about Scream 7. I think there's a little more, there's definitely been a little more drama with this one, but I kind of miss the Scream 6 days. I do. I think I was a little, I was a little more excited for that one, if I'm being totally honest. I don't know. I'm excited for 7. I am, but there's just a lot of things about this movie that have me worried. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna love it like I did the last couple movies, but we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. I hope it's a banger, dude. I hope it's awesome. Jem Witt is saying Ethan killed by that TV. Haha, funny. Thing is, that TV was a shell, just the plastic. It would be funny if Ethan survives the TV too. I don't see him part of the cast list, Jem Witt. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Kawi is saying, whatever happened to Sydney's dad? What if he was Ghostface? What would his motive be? They try to do that in the original Scream, right? Stu and Billy try to make him out to be the killer. They got him in the closet and everything. I think they try to say along the lines of, well, his wife got killed. Maybe he's pissed, maybe he's seeking revenge on everyone else in his life. Maybe he killed her, I almost think that if he did go Ghostface, it would have something to do with just everything that happened in the original Scream and finding out, how all the things that happened to Maureen. I don't know. I don't know if this character would go Ghostface personally. He's just, as from the little things we've seen of him in Scream 1 and Scream 3, he just seems like a really positive, shining light of hope in Sydney's life. And who knows if this character is even still alive? That's a big question. Jill is so slay. In the word of my girlfriend, Jill is goated. Jill is goated. She's one of my favorites. One of my favorite ghost faces in the bunch. What's your favorite sequel or favorite ghost face? I'm sure you've answered these before, but this is my first time on your streams. That's all good, Ham. That's why we do these things. That's why we do these. My favorite sequel is probably Scream 4. I grew up with that one, and I also just think it's got like the best motive, the best reveal. There's so many things I love about Scream 4. It's got some really brutal kills. It's got some fun characters, fun twists and turns here and there. It's a good one. It's a really nice like balance between everything I like about like the Wes Craven era of Scream and the more modern stuff too. So I think there's a lot to love about 4. My favorite ghost face, I think, is probably still Stu. Stu is hilarious. He cracks me up in that first one. A great performance and a really mysterious motive from the character as well, which those to me are the best. I love the motives where you kind of have to use your brain a little bit and wonder how did this character get himself into this situation? And Stu is absolutely that character for me. He's someone that when asked, what's your motive, Stu? Peer pressure is all he has to offer. And that is so, you can look at this character as being so like goofy and ridiculous and over the top, but there's a lot of layers to Stu, man. I mean, he's super misogynistic to I almost said Tammy, to Tatum. He's super misogynistic to his girlfriend. He's, he has a very vague motive that makes you question why he's even there in the first place. I don't know. He's a very complex villain, even though, again, on the surface level, he just seems like a goofy best friend character. So there's a lot to Stu that I love. And I think that I understand why so many people want to see him come back, because I think there is more character work that they could do to develop him. But it's just stuff that would have to be done in the past. It's stuff that you couldn't do now, because when there's 30 years of a character hiding in a basement for whatever reason with a smashed face, it's just not going to end up developing the things that I want to see developed with the character, right? Flashing back to 1995, before the events of the original, that's where you could do something like that. But Stu is definitely my favorite. There's a lot to love about him. Mickey is a runner-up. I think Mickey is a super underrated Ghostface from Scream 2. I think he has the very best motive of any of the ghost faces. The idea of it's an idea that plays so well with the themes of those early Scream flicks. The idea that he wants to get caught for murder and get away with it, and he wants to blame it all on the movies. That is the best Scream motive ever. That is the most Scream motive I've ever heard in my life, and it feels like an afterthought in Scream 2, which is such a shame, because it's perfect. It's like the perfect motive for a Scream film. You'll never get better than that. I'll die on that hill. There should be more Mickey. There should be another character with Mickey's same motive, because it's so fucking good. And they did like nothing with it. They just mention it in Scream 2, and then he's done for. Okay, we're moving on to something else. I would love more Mickey in a new Scream flick. But Ham, goddamn, there's some great ghost faces out there. I'll tell you what. A lot of excellent killers in this in this universe. What else do we got here? Sam is my favorite Ghostface. She wore the costume. Most brutal one anyway. A lot of people have mentioned this before, that she should be considered a Ghostface because of that ending scene. I think it's interesting. It's something else I had someone point out to me. I was having a conversation with my friend Eric once, and he's like, dude, have you ever thought about the fact that there's 6 ghost faces in Scream 6? And I'm like, no, there's not. And he's like, yes, there is. Sam wears the Ghostface costume at the end to stab the shit out of Dermot Mulroney. And I'm like, oh, fuck, there is. That's crazy. There's technically 6 when you look at it that way. And I kind of love this. I don't know if I consider her an actual ghost face, but I like living in the world where there's 6 ghost faces in Scream 6. That's fun to me. But yeah, I see it. I see it. And again, I pitched the idea of what if Scream 7, before all the firings, this was like back in 2023, Scream 7 videos. I pitched the idea of what if 7 focuses on Sam turning into a killer for, kind of weird moral reasons, right? Maybe she's going after other people who are going to go Ghostface. She's killing ghost faces before they can go on their murder sprees. And I'm like, there is so much you can do with that. Come on. That'd be so cool. But yeah, I don't know. I would love, I would definitely love something along those lines. That would be so much fun. Maybe we get that movie eventually. I said it in my video today. I'll stand by it until the end of time. They're just going to keep making these movies. So, they might do the Sam Goes Ghostface movie sometime in the future, but that's not anytime soon, unfortunately. Joe is saying, I caught one of your Scream 6 vids and you were spot on with your predictions. Therefore, you must be dead wrong with your 7 predictions for the sake of suspense. That's really funny. That's the thing, Joe. I'm going to do my research. I'm going to try my best to have a good prediction for whatever comes next, but I hope I'm wrong. Like I always do. Anytime I put out a video and I come up with some theory, there is a part of me in the back of my brain that's like, I hope I'm wrong about this, because I would hate to be right. I remember doing a video on the Scream 5 trailer, and you can just see that Jack Quaid's hair was in it. It like in a scene where Sam is stabbing a character with what is very clearly Jack Quaid's hair, and it's like, dude, Jack Quaid's the killer. I knew that going into I kind of knew that going into Scream 5. I remember just being like, Jack Quaid's definitely one of the killers, and there's plenty of signs as well. So that kind of bums me out. I actually hated being right about. I really hated being right about that one. I was totally wrong about my Scream 6 killer predictions, though. I'll tell you that much. Who did I think it was? I thought it was, I was dead set on Danny. I'm like, it's Danny. It's him all day, every day. Amber caught me off guard in Scream 5. Honestly, I think that's the only Ghostface that really surprised me. Well, okay. The opening scene of Scream 6, I was not expecting that. Those two. Tony Revolori, I did not think he would not be a killer in the new movie. I did not expect that one. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm thankful that majority of the stuff I've been wrong about, but there's been some things where it's like, oh shit, That's crazy. So it's been really fun covering these movies though. It's exciting. It's exciting trying to figure all of it out. It's like I'm playing detective as a job. It's crazy. Stella G is saying, my husband just mentioned that Joel McHale's character is Mark Evans and Jada's character in Scream 2 was Maureen Evans. Coincidence? Maybe they're related somehow. Maybe they're from the same the same adopted family or something. I don't know. Hey, anything's possible. I will say Mark Evans sounds like a suspiciously made up name though. That's a big thing that I I even talked about that in my video today. Just like Mark Evans, bro. It's 2 first names. Sounds like someone just scribbled down that real quick and said, they looked around the room. They're like, my name is Mark Evans. They're at like a Bob Evans or something. And Markiplier's playing in the background. Jason Carpenter saying, how about Mikey Madison? Hell yeah. Major kudos to her for starting off in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and the only Ghostface to ever win an Oscar. Happy for her. I still need to see Anora though. Dude, me too, Jason. I keep fucking up and not watching that movie. Mikey's an incredible actress. I've known that since I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And when I heard she was joining the cast for Scream 5, I was over the moon. I'm like, she was so good. Such a standout role in that movie. She's not in it like a ton. If you've never seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, she's not like, I mean, what, 5, 6, 7 minutes of screen time? I don't think she doesn't do a ton in that movie. But man, the little that she does, she stands out big time. She's fucking crazy in both of these flicks. And I knew after that, and especially after Scream 2022, she was going places. I mean, she's kind of a one-note character in Scream 2022, but she's able to add so many layers to it that I think she becomes one of the better Ghostfaces just from the over-the-top performance alone. I love Mikey Madison, man. She is an incredible actress, and she's definitely going places after last night. Let me tell you, wow. I need to see Anora like yesterday. I cannot believe I have not sat down and watched it yet, but I think I'm going to love it. I know I have not been disappointed with the Mikey Madison performance yet. I'm sure this is going to be just as fantastic. Who killed Casey in the first Scream and what was the motive? Have you seen the first Scream? I'm getting scared I might spoil something for you. John Best is just out here saying that Billy and Stu killed Casey and Steve. Yes, this is true. Now I'm like, I feel like I'm just out here. I feel like I'm just out here spoiling everything. Peer pressure is the worst motive. I think Stu wanted to do the killings because he was just like he just liked watching people suffer and happy he got to do it with his best friend Billy. I don't think he enjoyed, but peer pressure, if you just take that at face value, it sucks, but it's interesting because that's obviously not it, right? I think he was pushed into doing it. You know, I think Stu's kind of he's a pushover, literally. And his friend Billy, you know, felt upset about everything that was going on with his with his dad and his parents splitting up, so wanted to kill and roped his best friend into it, who was just gonna do whatever he said. Again, so many layers to Stu's mental ability. I do not think he was happy about killing people at all, personally. I got to disagree there. I don't think he wanted to do it. And that's, I think that actually kind of explains a lot of the scenes where I believe Stu is under the mask and fucks up. I think that scene where Ghostface attacks Sydney at her house, I believe that's Stu. I could be wrong. But my theory is that that's Stu under the mask, and that's why so many different mistakes happen in that scene. I don't think he's as qualified as a killer as Billy is. And, you know, even though I have some favorite Ghostfaces from the next couple of, you know, all the sequels, the best duo in Scream is Billy and Stu. It's Billy and Stu all day, baby. I mean, that is, again, there's so many layers to their complex relationship. I love it. I think there's just a lot to love and dissect and talk about there. So I love it. You feel like that motive was kind of random? Like, what would he have gained from blaming the movies, though? So here's my take on Mickey's motive, because it's, again, maybe I didn't really get into it. So the first 3 Scream movies talk a lot about how movies are constantly blamed for violence in real life, and Mickey being, again, we're talking about the villain of Scream 2. We are talking about one of the bad guys in the second film, and you got to think about that from a writer's perspective, right? So Mickey, the villain of Scream 2, wants to blame the movies for the real life violence that he committed, even though he wasn't actually motivated by movies to kill people. I think it's Mrs. Loomis who said something earlier saying, like, this was just some serial killer I found online, and we decided to help each other. That to me is where it gets interesting. Blaming the movies is totally a play on that. It is a play on how so many people wanted to blame, violence on television, violence in movies for why kids in real life were doing it. And that's just not the case at all. I strongly disagree with that. I hate when people say horror movies cause violence in real life. No, it doesn't. It goes back to that line that Billy has in Scream 1. What is it? It's like, horror movies don't. I'm totally butchering this. I'm so sorry. I don't remember what exactly it is. It's like horror movies don't make killers. It makes them more creative. Something like that. I'm butchering the fuck out of it, but it's such a great evolution of that. And again, I wish they would have focused on that rather than Billy's fucking mom. But to me, that's one of the most interesting things about it. You got to think about the late 90s and the early thousands. There was just a lot of violence. There was a lot of teenagers being aggressive. There's a lot of that in the media and so many different reports on things like that. Angry mothers calling into TV and TV stations, movie production companies and shit saying, your movie made my son do this and that, whatever. And it's a perfect play on that, which I think Scream has always done very well. Well, not always, but sometimes has done very well, at least in Screams 1 through 5. Has commented on what's going on in the modern day very well. I'm not answering that question. What else is going on here? Jake does a live stream at Area 51. I think I would get in trouble for that. Maybe a little bit. Might get into a little trouble for that one. Dewey is my second favorite character next to Sid. I've never cried watching a movie besides the Lord of the Rings movies for the millionth time. Oh, that's the thing with me. I let movies. I let them just take over. I think that's the best way for them to be effective. If a movie's gonna make me cry, I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna be like, oh man, I don't want to cry. I have bawled my eyes out in a movie theater before, multiple times, and I'm not ashamed of that. And you shouldn't be, because if you're watching a movie and you're telling yourself, I'm not gonna feel emotions while watching this, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. Movies are supposed to be an emotional roller coaster like that, and the effective ones will really get to you and really pull on the heartstrings. And if they do, let loose, man. That's what a movie does best. So I don't know. It always bums me out when people are like, I don't feel emotion while I'm watching while I'm watching movies. When people tell me that, I'm like, I don't believe you. And maybe you just don't like movies. I don't know. What's the point if you're not going to feel anything? That's crazy to me. I don't get that. Sydney Prescott is now Sydney Evans. She'll always be Sydney Prescott. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Sydney goes to the dentist. His name is Centrist the dentist. That sounds like a really weird political cartoon. Blindside is saying Mark Evans wasn't Maureen Evans, Sydney's mom's. Maureen Evans was Jada Pinkett's character from the opening of Scream 2. Sydney's mom's character is Maureen Prescott. They do have the same. They have the same first name though. Got a point there. Honora is amazing, Jake. You are missing out. I know I am. I absolutely. You're dead right. I am. So glad I saw it on a rerun in theaters when it was coming out. I was so busy. Wasn't it last fall that movie came out? I want to say it was fall because I just kept hearing about it, and I'm like, I am so busy every weekend from pretty much every August through October. I'm slammed. It's nonstop during those time periods, but it's a ton of fun. Stu was the brains on Sex Appeal. Oh, Isaac, I don't know if I agree. I don't know if I agree with him being the brains. I think Billy's the leader in that situation. He's bullying Stu to do all of his dirty work. That's kind of the situation with a lot of the ghost faces, though, right? There's typically like an alpha and someone just kind of following the leader. I think like Jill is like the alpha in Scream 4. Charlie's absolutely just doing whatever she says because he's horny as fuck and kind of an incel. Even Mrs. Loomis is kind of in charge in the second movie, and Mickey's just kind of doing her bidding. Scream 5 and 6 kind of the same thing, right? Richie's kind of in charge, and Amber's just kind of doing the dude's dirty work. And even in 6, Dermot Mulroney is kind of bossing his kids around to kill people, which is crazy. It's nutty, man. JT Owsley, thank you for the 5 again. It's been a good stream, but I'm not feeling anything horror related tonight. So now I'm going to shower, cook food, watch 11:14, and make out with my mom. You're not feeling anything horror related, but you're watching 11:14. That's the thing I'm upset with, and not the fact that he's going to make out with his mom. But anyway, JT, thank you for the 5. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy your food in your shower. Please don't do one of those other things. Dear God. Thanks for supporting the page, though, man. I appreciate it a ton. What else do we got going on here? We got movies make psychos more creative. Yes. Doofy, smell my finger. What's that? My ass. I love that movie so much. It is ridiculous. Kawi is saying Jill wanting to become Ghostface because she was envious of Sydney and wanted to replicate her success is stupid, in my opinion. Why is it stupid? Give me a reason. Fight, prove your argument, my friend. I really like it. I think it's great. I think it works really well with the times. You got to think that's the early days of YouTube, right? When everyone's kind of getting onto it in 2010, 2011. Going viral was a very big thing. It wasn't just because she was envious of Sydney's success. It's because she wanted to blow up. She wanted to be famous. She wanted all the things that Sydney did not like about the life that she had. It works really well thematically, in my opinion, with Scream 4. And that's why I really like it. But why do you hate it? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Give me an argument. Don't just call it stupid. Back up your stuff with facts. Jason Carpenter's saying, Jake, not really horror related. Are you seeing Novocaine in 2 weeks? Yeah, the new movie with Jack Quaid. It looks like a fun thrill ride movie, and Jack Quaid is good in everything he is in. This is true. I can't argue with that. That's a great point there. I'm definitely going to see this one. It looks like a fun action movie. It does make me question why, this character doesn't just... Why is he grabbing hot pans, though? I know it doesn't hurt, but that's still like, dude's got to wrap that up. He's going to get a fucking infection if he's doing shit like that. I already have questions about this movie, but I'm going to see it. And I think it's probably going to be a turn your brain off, have fun with an action movie. And I struggle with those a little. I struggle with those a little bit sometimes. Beekeeper made me so mad. I was like, this frustrates me in every single scene of this. Makes me want to punch a hole in the wall. But I hope it's good. I hope it's fun. Again, like you said, Jack Quaid is fun in everything. So he's an excellent actor. And he can really do everything, man. I think that's what I love so much about Jack. He's a great villain, but he's an even better good guy. I mean, he can really do it all. He's got one of those faces that you can just trust, and that can be utilized for multiple different things. You can make him a very easy, very relatable good guy, or a very deceptive villain. And I think that's what makes him an excellent actor. So I love Jack Quaid. He's awesome. Will you be doing a trailer breakdown analysis of Scream 7 when it comes out later this year? Absolutely. Absolutely, tootly. Definitely going to be talking all about it. I'm excited. I'm really excited to get a trailer. I think, until that, it's just going to be anybody's guess as to what this movie's going to, feel like, whatever. But once we get a trailer, that's when we're going to really get some hard answers, That's when we're really going to get an idea of what is this flick going to look like? What is this movie all about? And we'll learn. We will learn then when we finally get to see a trailer. And I'm honestly one of the things I'm the most excited for coming from this year. So Scream 5 is the only movie that in the franchise that made me shed a tear because of Dewey and Gail's relationship. The constant tributes to Wes, Dewey's death, etc. 5 is an emotional one for me. It is. It's an emotional one. I was upset when Dewey died too. I was like, no way they're doing this. That's crazy. I was upset. I was really upset with Dewey's death. But again, it made you feel something, didn't it? I know everyone's like Scream 5 sucks because they killed Dewey, but that film made me feel something that none of the other movies do, and that makes it special. Had they not done that, I think it would be a lesser film if Dewey's death was not in there, I would argue. Watched the Oscars last night. Demi was snubbed. I can't even argue with this. I'm happy that, Mikey Madison won Best Actress, but yeah. Would have loved to have seen Demi win. I agree. Billy's quote is, now Sid, don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative. Thank you, Kelly. I cannot remember movie lines for the life of me, even from movies I've seen like 100 times. I can't do it. I don't know what it is. I gotta stop smoking pot. John is saying, has anyone seen the new evidence? What? New evidence in Kurt Cobain? What? Crazy now that his autopsy report was leaked after 35 years. What are you being serious right now? Am I so gullible that I'm gonna look this up? Because I got to know if there's something. Huh. I'm seeing that his underwear are up for auction. That's the biggest news update. I think I just fell for it. I think I think old Jake is gullible. But anyways, let's keep moving here. The only downfall to Mikey winning the Oscar is that Demi did not. I agree. I very much so agree with that. I'm happy that Mikey won. You know, I'm very happy that she did. That's a Ghostface actress at the end of the day. She comes from horror, so that is exciting. That's happy to see that happen. Perry is saying, do you think Scream is going to try to be gorier to try to keep up with the movies like Terrifier? Perry, first of all, thank you for being a member, and thank you for the $5. Appreciate that support. Will Scream try to be gorier? I could see it. You know, I could definitely see it happening. It's just kind of a staple of a lot of modern slasher flicks. You know, you can get away with a lot more gore nowadays than previously. I think, you know, another big thing with Terrifier 3's success is that there was a lot of kids who saw that movie. And it was even reported the day, like I think a couple of days after Terrifier 3 dropped, and people were you know, it was a big phenomenon. It's an unrated movie that's making millions and millions of dollars. It was reported that there was kids who were buying tickets to The Wild Robot, which was also out in theaters at the same time, and sneaking into Terrifier 3 to see it. So, like, listen, you know, some things just never change. Kids back in the 80s, they wanted to see blood and guts on the big screen. And now that the same thing is happening here today. And I think that, you know, social media has definitely changed the way we view everything in the world for sure, but there's still that want to see what's the next big movie. You know, what's hidden behind that curtain. There's still that excitement to go to the theater and see big movies like this, which is great. It might be fewer and far between. You know, it's not like how it once was, where you know that was the place to go to see something new. Unfortunately, you can pick up your phone and watch something literally right now, and I think there's a lot of negatives to that. Unfortunately, you know, there's no more anticipation. You know, anticipation has almost been completely killed, and it's something a lot of people don't understand anymore, which is why I feel like a lot of movies fail nowadays. There's so many movies that just try to be like really exciting scene, really exciting scene, really exciting scene, really exciting scene, where maybe you should just take your time and build up to one big thing, you know, and make you feel something that you can't just get on this fucking thing. But you know, wow, I'm spiraling, but will Scream try to be gorier, very similar to the Terrifier movies? I think that Scream can get away with more gore at this point. I think they can, and I think they will, because why not? I mean, again, we're talking about a franchise that has been I don't want to say censored, but, you know, we had an entire film in this franchise that is borderline not even horror because of things going on in the world at the time. And there was so much pressure from the producers to make a comedy film over an actual, a genuine horror flick. And I go back to things that Kevin Williamson specifically has said about this franchise. Promoting the original Scream, he's like, I want to make a horror film that's genuinely scary again. He's like, I feel like there hasn't been one of those in a while. And there are things about that original Scream that are some of the most terrifying shit from the entire series. And I really want Scream to be like genuinely terrifying. Like I really do. Because otherwise I feel like it could end up being like super hypocritical. You know, this is a franchise continuation to a series that has not ripped apart, but like pointed out the tropes, the repetitive elements of other movies in its space. And if you start to make movies that fall into the tropes of the time in this series, that's when you have lost the reins of the Scream series. That is when you have lost it. That's when you've completely lost what Scream is when you just fall into, everyone else is doing this, we got to do that. Once Scream becomes that's when it's over. That's when the show is over, and that's when there's no more fun to be had. But when Scream continues to subvert expectations, when it when it analyzes the tropes of the time and says, how can we do that differently? That's when the series is at its best. And you know, does it need to be gorier like Terrifier? Do we need to have, you know, Ghostface come out here with a big old smile on his face and start axing someone up in a Santa costume at the beginning of Scream 7? No, we should do the opposite. I'm not saying we should do exactly the opposite, no blood, no gore. I'm saying we should try to approach it in a different way than what Art the Clown does. Because if this movie comes out the gate with a Ghostface who enjoys killing, having a fun time doing it, dismembering people with a smile on his goddamn face. It's just going to be Terrifier. Scream needs to find a way to analyze Terrifier and do it in its own unique way. You know, that to me is how it's going to. That's how it's going to succeed in entry number 7. So I absolutely want some gory, over the top kills because I think this franchise can, but not in the way that Terrifier does it. Because again, going back to one last point here, going back to a conversation we said earlier, was that if the Monkey had just had a bunch of Terrifier kills in it, I don't think it would be the standout movie from this year that it is. It has a bunch of cartoonish deaths in it. I mean, there is a scene in that movie, which again, no spoilers, I guess, but there's a scene in that movie where a bunch of bees kill somebody. I'm not going to say how, but a whole bunch of bees kill somebody, and there's no way it would happen like that in real life. That is not an Art the Clown kill. You know what I mean? That is not a way how Art the Clown would kill somebody. And that to me is what makes the Monkey stand out. It's a unique way of having those super gory and ridiculous kills that you're laughing at. Both result in kind of the same thing, right? You know, kind of like the same reaction, but in totally different ways, approaches, and whatnot. So how can Scream find a way to do gory kills in its own unique way, I hope? Not just like Terrifier, but if it does up the gore, I would say that's probably because of Terrifier's popularity. Perry, thank you for the 5, though. I appreciate you a ton. It's a great question. It's a great question is what that one was. Kaiwi, thank you for the 5, my friend. Thank you. Thanks for your insightful opinions on the Scream franchise. What made Jill's motive so creepy? Dude, thank you. Thank you for the 5. I appreciate it. What made it creepy? I think it's a dark reflection of the time. You know, it's so many people in 2011 specifically, and of course now, but it was a newer thing in 2011. Everyone wanted to go viral. Everybody wanted fame and success. And I think there's so many people like Jill who think that once that video pops off, you know, it's easy living for the rest of my life. That's not how it works, though. That I learned that the hard way. No, it's not one viral video does it. That's not how it works. And that to me is what's so wrong about like influencer culture, right? It's the idea that we can just bust our ass on this one thing and we never have to work again. That's the problem. That's kind of the problem with influencer culture. It's the idea. I don't know if it's laziness. I don't think it's that. I think it's more so just the fact that we dedicate so much time and effort towards something that's just not going to happen in the way that we think it's going to, where we could be building a business for ourselves instead. But too many people during that time period, that was not the idea. That was not the incentive. And Jill plays off of that idea, what was in the current zeitgeist of what was being talked about a lot in the teenage crowd, right? We take that and we make it dark. We make it evil. We make going viral about death. We make it literally about I'm killing my friends to go viral. That to me is what makes Jill's motive so creepy and excellent and relatable at the time. Creepiness, an element to it is relatability. What makes something creepy? It's the science of it boils down to it's close to real life, but it's a darker version of it essentially. Think about Uncanny Valley, right? It's close to people. That you see a picture of something that feels, you know, wrong. It makes you uncomfortable. The eyes are too big. The mouth is too small. The neck is too long, right? It's almost a person, but not quite. It's the same thing with a really good motive in the Scream universe, I think. And that's why I have such a big appreciation for something like Jill's motive that feels a little more thought out, a little more of the times, where if we're going to compare it to something like Mrs. Loomis, it's just something that's been done to death a million times before. It's revenge with absolutely no seasoning on it. It's the same thing we saw on Friday the 13th and nothing more. I like Jill's a lot more because it works a lot more with the time. What's happening now is always going to be the most fresh thing. And I'm not saying that you always have to write stories or Ghostface characters and motives in that exact same way. You know, that's not true at all. There's no right way to write a character or anything along those lines. But for me, a constant that I've noticed, things that I really like about the Scream series, is when they're able to take something from the time period they're making a film and incorporate it into the movie in a really unique and thoughtful way. Jill is one of the best examples of that, alongside Mickey, alongside Billy and Stu. So to keep that going, to keep that element alive from the original flick, is definitely something that's important to me when it comes to new entries in the Scream series. So I'm hoping for that. I'm really hoping for that here in Scream 7, a motive that works with what's going on in the world right now. But Kaiwi, thank you for the 5. Really do appreciate your support of the page, my friend. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. And you know, that's another thing too. I strongly encourage disagreements on the page too. That's a big thing. I love that we have disagreements tonight. I love that we're able to pick them apart, because I'm like, I listen, I'll throw crazy opinions out there. I will, but I'll always give you a reason why. I'm not going to say, I just want this thing to happen for this reason. I'm not going to do that, because I think it's way more interesting when you can actually have a good point to it. And then sometimes I'll have rebuttals from people and I'm like, I didn't think about that. You're right. Holy shit. We've had it happen many, many times on this page. It's not going to be the first time. It's not going to be the last time. Anytime it happens, I want more of it. I want more of this. I want more of the cogs turning up in the brain. That's the only way we can get stronger in our horror knowledge. You know, it's I sound so nerdy right now, but it's what I'm the most passionate about. It's probably why I do this fucking page. But these live streams, they give me so much life. I love them to death. Rando Geek is saying, "What it be, playa? How you doing, dog? Welcome in. Thanks for being here, man." We're vibing out. We're talking a little Scream. I'm getting nerdy as fuck. Saying his heart wasn't pumping when the gunshot went off. No heartbeat, no blood splatter. Only blood was under his head, and his head was completely intact. I don't know what I just read, but God, I like it. God, I like it. The monkey was legit. Yes, it was. Worked better for me on second watch. I'll be adding it to my collection when it drops in May. I really liked the monkey, and I was going into it thinking I wasn't going to like it. I'll be honest. I had mixed feelings coming out of Long Legs. And I was kind of going into this one thinking, I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. But especially after I read the short story before I went into this one. And it's really, I don't want to say it's dry, because that's not true. There's a lot of really ridiculous deaths, but it's handled in such a different sense. And I think in a lot of ways, Oz took that story and he made it like, just fleshed it out way more. You know, I even said it in my review video. The climax of the short story is a character throwing the monkey into a lake, Crystal Lake, interestingly enough, and watching it sink to the bottom as the boat starts to break apart. Like, that's the big exciting climax. Compare that to the movie, and I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it, but the climax in Oz Perkins the Monkey is fucking insane. Oh my God. So I don't know. To me, I just feel like they took that story and they amped it up to 11. I love it. I don't know. I really loved everything that was going on in this flick. It's another flick that has so many layers. There's a lot of, there's a big meditation on Oz Perkins losing his parents in very ridiculous and over the top ways. So many weird references to it. It's almost weirdly morbid, especially if you know all that going in. The biggest thing, the absolute biggest thing, without a doubt, is his mother died in a horrible 9/11, one of the 9/11 crashes, and it's a really upsetting thing to read about. I can't even imagine what that phone call was like, you know. And this is obviously a meditation on that. There's so many references to it, and there's a plane in the movie, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. But man, it's holy shit. Like it's Oz relinquishing some demons is what it is. So I have a lot of respect for the monkey. I love it a lot, and I don't know, I think I have a even bigger respect for Oz Perkins as a filmmaker for going to those places in that flick. He was able to reach into some dark parts of his soul, his mind, to give us that version of Mr. King's story, and I don't know, I respect it for that. There's many layers to unpeel from that onion, let me tell you. Jason Carpenter is saying Scream 4 was ahead of its time and predicted the future to an extent. It did. It's I don't know. To me, it's I think it's the best sequel for that reason. It is so ahead of its time. And I don't even think it realized what it was commenting on would be such a big factor for just people of the future. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm friends with many people who do what I do, you know, who are also YouTubers, who also get to thankfully have this as their job. And it's like, it's kind of crazy. I mean, when I was growing up, if somebody was a YouTuber, that was like unheard of. I mean, I had my homeroom teacher, Miss Velez. I remember this my whole life. You know, in homeroom in my senior year, they were asking everybody, like, what do you want to do with your life? You know, where are you going to college? And I said, I'm going to be a YouTuber. And she's like, that's never going to happen. That's a silly thing to dream about, Jake. And I said, I'm going to do it. I told myself I was going to do it at a young age. I'm doing it. You got to put your mind to something. You got to do it. But that's a whole different question. That's neither here nor there. But it's it's weird, you know, back in 2011 it wasn't like a bunch of people were doing it. Now a lot more people are. I mean, I know people not even from all of this that are doing the YouTube thing. It's a lot more accessible than it once was. And it's interesting. I don't know. It's cool how it happens. It's cool how it happens. How life changes. Because again, when I was growing up in the early days of YouTube, when this was so out there, this was it was not something that just anybody could do, and I don't know. I guess I was kind of fascinated by that at a really young age. I encourage Jake to do some sit-ups if someone donates. Again, if someone donates $50, I will do 50 sit-ups. Dead ass. 50 sit-ups right here, right now. It would be no fun if we all agreed on everything with movies. Absolutely agree, Jason. We don't want an echo chamber. That's no fun. And I also like that, you know, the other thing that I feel like a lot of people don't acknowledge is opinions change, right? My opinion on the Scream franchise is not the same as where it was back when I first started covering this whole topic. I mean, if you go back and watch my old Scream videos, they're probably fucking terrible. But the other thing is I definitely don't agree with the same shit I'm talking about today. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with changing your opinion on things, especially when it comes to things that don't really matter like movies. So I love being able to constantly evolve the opinion. I mean, I have such a better view of Scream 3 than I did a long time ago. I used to write that movie off as such a mistake in the series. But again, then when you learn a little more about it, you learn a little more about, you know, why the film is the way it is. And I just have this much bigger respect for it in that sense. And I kind of love it now. I'm like, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous that's the product they put out after all those restraints and weird rewrites and shit. It's I don't know. It's fascinating. It's almost an analysis of how the human mind works under pressure in a weird way, which again, psychology, I almost went to school for. I'm fascinated by that. And I think that's why I like movies so much. The monkey was mad weird. Everyone exploded like shooting watermelons with a shotgun. That and Wolfman was so bad in my opinion. You know, again, I liked Monkey. I liked Monkey. I liked the monkey because it's I kind of knew that going in. I remember reading about some of the things that Oz Perkins was approaching the idea with, trying to make it more into a horror comedy. It's definitely not a straightforward film, but it is also dealing with some very serious themes. I mean, kind of like Scream 3, right? But Wolfman was a miss for me too, Ham. I do agree with you there. Wolfman, I don't know what happened, man. It's Lee Winnell. Lee Winnell is one of my favorite people writing and directing horror films right now, and I can't believe that's my least favorite film of 2025 so far. I am shocked. The two movies that I thought were going to be surefire hits this year are like towards the bottom of my list, and two films I did not even think I was going to like are right up there at the top now. 2025, it's a year where anything can happen. I don't know what's going to happen next, you know? 28 years later is that in that movie Together are probably the two ones I'm the most excited for coming out for the rest of the year. And now I'm worried they're not even going to be good because this year has been so unpredictable. But that's completely baseless is what that is. But hey, we'll see. Jake, these live streams make Mondays more tolerable for peeps. Keep up the great work, man. Thank you, Jason. Your presence here makes these streams so much better, might I say, Jason. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a positive, shining light in the community. Same to a lot of you. I really mean that. I mean that sentiment to so many people. Erica, Perry, you're all fucking awesome. All you guys are great. I just need him to set up a basic ass Discord, admin me, and then I can style it up and make all the channels and whatnot. Erica, you know what? Listen, I have a very big thing I have to do YouTube wise this upcoming weekend. And I actually have two big things I got to do. I just realized that. Yeah, I got to fix the store. Fourth Wall just will not show products on this page. I don't know what it is. I cannot get it. I can't get it to work. But this weekend, I'm totally slammed trying to figure out that in a new live streaming software. But maybe next weekend we'll be able to find that. Maybe the 15th and the 16th. One of those days we can figure out a way to start to set up a Discord. Because you know that again, I've helped a buddy set up a Discord page before for like something that he was doing, and it's a whole thing. It's a process. So it's something I would want to dedicate like a day to. And I just, you know, that's the other thing. I don't like to do something if I can't do it to the best of my ability anymore. So I'm if we're gonna do it, I'm dedicating a day to it. Is kind of where I'm at now. But at some point, Erica, I might hit you up about that because that would be fun. That'd be fun to explore that. My doctor said I'll be in a wheelchair by the time I'm 50. That's no good. I'm so sorry. You're still able to watch horror movies that way, though. Always got to look on the bright side. You know what I mean? I'm so sorry about that, though, my friend. That's no good. It's absolutely no good. Hamskiat 2.0. I just love saying that. Saying, would Scream be your favorite horror movie? If not, what is? I love the Scream movies. I just don't know if they're my favorites. I don't know if they're my absolute favorites of all time. I do love covering them, and I'm very thankful for this platform. It's a lot of fun. I think if I had a top 10 horror movie list, I don't even know what I'd pick. It would just change all the time. But the movie I constantly say is my all-time favorite is probably The Fly from 1986. I have such a mad respect for practical effects, and anytime you can do something really impressive in that field, those are typically some of my favorite horror flicks. The Fly is just unbelievably impressive in so many different regards. It tells an excellent tragic story, a tragic romance, and has some excellent practical effects, some great performances. There's just so much to love. It's sci-fi horror at its absolute best. It's one of the greatest reimaginings of all time, right up there with The Thing, The Blob. My God, I mean, there's so many movies from the 80s that are just purely perfect. That's probably my favorite, subgenre of horror, a very specific niche, but a popular one nonetheless. I mean, just the gory sci-fi horror of the 80s is my absolute favorite. Anything in that realm, I typically tend to like. There's way more hits than misses in that category for me personally, and I can't get enough of it. I mean, the Thing is one of my all-time favorites. The Blob is up there too. The Fly is probably my absolute favorite from that. But there's so many good movies during that time period. So, 80s body horror. I love a lot of 70s stuff too. There's a lot of great 70s horror flicks. The 70s is probably my favorite time for horror. But the thousands also has so many good. I don't know. There's so many good movies out there, man. It's so hard to pick. It's impossible to pick a favorite is what it is. But I do love the Scream movies. I've seen them more times than I can probably count. And I'm sure I'll be watching them more to come here in the future. I almost have all of them on Steelbook too. I'm waiting for that 4K of Scream 4, man. I'm waiting for that to happen, and then I'm picking it up. But as soon as that happens, we're getting there. We're making it happen. What else is going on? I want to visit Dublin. My family is from there. Your arthritis doesn't affect your guitar playing yet. I'm really sorry to hear that, John. My dad's has been suffering from that on top of a bunch of other things, and it's a bummer. The thing is though, he always finds ways to. He also plays guitar. He plays bass, and he still records music. He actually, if you watch my latest short film, Chicken Man, he's actually playing piano. He learned how to play piano for that short, and even with arthritis, he was able to do something like that. So if you need a little inspiring story there, there you go. So he's amazing. He's doing great. He's got a lot of stuff going on illness wise, but he's making it work. He's still able to create, still able to make art for the things he loves, and I think that's awesome. So. Do you think there could be something newly discovered about Maureen Prescott's murder in Scream 7? Yeah, I feel like that's definitely what we're getting into here, if I had to guess. And again, just talking, I always try to talk about this stuff unbiased, because I know people are sick of hearing me trash on the Stu is Alive stuff. But even though I don't like it, and even though I hope that doesn't happen, genuinely, will they bring Stu back? Will he be alive in 7? I honestly don't think so, based on the way that they announced it. I don't think that if Matthew Lillard was to be our big twist in this, they wouldn't have announced it the way that they did. They announced Scott Foley first in the same day as Matthew Lillard as well. Why would they do that unless they were going to have these characters come back for a flashback, right? We know that Roman was involved with the events of the original Scream. He set up Billy to do it, and Billy got his buddy Stu to get involved too. I just think we're definitely going back to Maureen's murder. We're going back to the beginning again, because Scream always does that. and we're going to find some sort of new revelation. What that is, what could that be? Biggest thing I've been speculating on is that the sister will be involved somehow. Ever since Scream 5 came out and said that Stu had a sister, everybody has wanted to see her. I mean, that has been the focal point of so many different review videos on this page. And I think that I get it, because it makes you question, well, if Stu had a sister, why was she not there during the events of the original Scream? What was going on there? can we make her into a killer? And I think that's a question that Seven might end up answering. Maybe with Anna Camp's character, I don't know. But we'll definitely have to see. It's not a long time coming at this point, less than a year away. And I think that's probably what it's going to be. It's something else was going on with Maureen Prescott's murder that we don't know about until now. And I think it could possibly be that Stu's sister was involved at one point, or knew that it was all going on and said nothing about it, which is also bad. Which I would argue is just as bad as killing somebody if you know that someone's going to die and you don't say anything about it. I think some people would disagree with me in the modern day, but I don't care. I'm right. If you don't do something about it, you're just as bad. I love lamp. I love lamp too. Brick, are you just looking around the room and saying that you love those things? I love desk. I'm watching Anchorman after this, man. Oh my God. I missed that movie. That's a fun one. One last little reminder here, ladies and gentlemen, go check out the gaming channel GullGotha. It's really fun over there. If you think that Jake is a little too analytical and critical here, well, guess what? I'm just a silly little goober over on that page. So stop on by. I'm streaming kind of daily there, even though I haven't gone live since last Thursday, but kind of daily. We're going live this Wednesday. We're probably going to play some Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the video game, and I'm excited for it. So stop on by. It's going to be a good one. Click the link. Check out the live streams. We're going to have some videos up on that page too. I'm here for it. I want to get to a few more questions that I think old Jake's going to be signing off. When do you think we get a Megan 2.0 trailer? Hopefully Blumhouse doesn't give us all the main scenes in the damn trailer like they always do. They always do that. What's up with that? I'm excited for the trailer, but I think honestly, if there's any movie that I would bank on getting spoiled before it comes out this year, it's Megan. This is a movie that Blumhouse needs to be a hit. They need it to be a hit because they have a spinoff coming out next year. They probably want to do a Megan 3 because this is a new flagship series, an unexpected flagship series, might I add, too. People did not think that this was going to be a hit. Blumhouse dropped this at the very beginning of the year in 2023. They did not expect that one to be as big of a hit as it did. So what did they do? They said, we're doing a sequel, we're doing a spinoff, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing Megan merch. Megan's like a horror icon now, dude. Like, people don't want to admit it, but Megan's right up there with Art the Clown, which I can't even believe I'm saying that. Terrifier is leagues better in my opinion, but Megan is still fun. It's still a fun time. I still liked it. It's a much better movie than I thought it would be, but will the sequel be good? I don't know. I kind of feel like Megan it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing. It's a tough franchise to continue because you're doing killer doll movies in an age where killer dolls are kind of being done to death, especially in the smaller stuff in the more low budget range. But it's also AI commentary, which I feel like has already kind of came and went. I don't know. It's tough. I don't know how Megan 2.0 is going to go. That's another one where I'm 50-50 on it. I don't know if I'm excited for this one or if it's going to blow, but I'm excited to see a full trailer. We're getting this one this summer and I hope it's good. Megan's a good guy now. Is this going to work? Is this going to be something that we can get into? We have a new big bad in Megan 2.0. That's what the rumor says. I hope it's good. Madison is late. She passed the fuck out. That's all good. Get some rest. We both had some intense days today, so get some rest, honey. I appreciate you being in here. Thank you. We also got John Tennant. Thanks for the 5, dude. Appreciate you. Saying, interesting how Scream 7's release date of February 27th, 2026 is the previous director Chris Landon's 51st birthday. Whoa, that's bizarre, John. Still kind of bummed he isn't directing this. John, I'm right there with you. I think if there's any up-and-coming director, and I don't even think Chris Landon's up-and-coming, but a younger, hungrier director, right? Than someone like Kevin Williamson, who's not necessarily known for his directing credits, but more so a lot of the things that he's written. So many TV shows, so many big movies. Chris Landon, on the other hand, I mean, sure, he's had some hits, and has written for some of the Paranormal Activity flicks. But I think he wants to be a part of Scream so bad. I mean, he has made so many movies that are directly influenced by Scream, so many slashers that have that Scream energy to them. I could totally see him doing a Scream movie at some point, and I really hope he does. I really hope it still happens because there's more Scream movies on the way. I guarantee you that. And will Kevin Williamson continue to direct from now on? I don't know. I feel like I honest to God do feel like that Kevin's directing because Chris couldn't, because Chris dropped out and they didn't have anybody else. Because you also got to think, right? Radio Silence didn't want to do it. They announced, they said they weren't even ever attached to it, but they said, no, we're done. We're moving on to something else. But they, Spyglass still wants a Scream 7. Movies are making money. Scream 6 made more money than Scream 5. Of course they're going to make another one. Come on now. Strike while the iron's hot, Chris Landon drops out. Now what do? We don't have a director. What's happening now? Kevin Williamson steps up. He wants to direct again. And then, then we learn about everything that was going on with the project essentially had a complete script overhaul. A brand new story is being approached versus whatever the old one would have been, that probably would have followed the Carpenter sisters, even though I know there's not technically any real proof of that out there, besides smoke and mirror rumors, right? But I just feel like Christopher Landon probably would have directed a film that would have focused on the core four again. But now, obviously it's a Sidney movie again, and Kevin is stepping up to the plate to direct, to kind of keep his franchise on track. And I'm definitely excited for that. But John, I understand where you're coming from, because I would love to see Christopher Landon Scream. What that would look like. Because I feel like since I've seen Happy Death Day and Freaky and Hard Eyes, even now, all these big slasher projects that Chris has been involved with, I just keep thinking to myself, he wants this to be Scream so bad. If Chris Landon were just able to sit down and write and direct an entire Scream film, I bet you it would be like the best thing he's ever done, because everything that he's made so far is like as close as he can get to Scream without it being Scream. You know what I mean? He's like, well, I can't steal the copyright or anything, so I got to make this my own. He loves it that much. He's the perfect director for a Scream film. So I hope one day he's able to do it. And I still think it's possible, but it is kind of weird that that's his birthday. I did not know that until you pointed that out, John. Bizarre, dude. Crazy, man. But I do appreciate the 5. I don't lose hope on that idea quite yet. I think we're still going to get Chris Landon Scream at some point in the future, just not in 2026. But John, again, thank you for the 5. Thanks for supporting the channel. Keep the faith alive. Keep the faith. This is probably going to be the last question. I think we're going to sign off. Billy Boy is saying, are you going to do an Until Dawn on the gaming channel? Not even streaming, just like a playthrough. I'm going to do a playthrough. I decided this recently. We streamed the casting of Frank Stone last week, and it was fun to do on live stream. Don't get me wrong, but I just I felt like I was talking over the story to get to the chat, and I think it just makes a little more sense to stream like multiplayer games where it's not really story focused, but for videos to do like the frame like story based games like that. So I think video wise, I'm gonna do I guess the story games will be videos, and the more multiplayer stuff, like your Dead by Daylights, your Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, any other like multiplayer horror games out there, probably those are going to be delegated to live streams. It just makes more sense. Like when we were doing the Dead by Daylight streams, I was able to, like, between matches, to look at the chat and catch up with everybody, and then we're playing. It's this really nice back and forth that I think we kind of found something with, and we kind of broke it up a little bit last week with the Frank Castle stuff. But again, it's an early page. I'm still experimenting over there, still trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. And it's going to be, it's going to be a lot of that. It's going to be a lot of fun trying to figure things out, right? I took 5 years to figure things out on this page. So I think I got something down at this point, but yeah, well, I'll definitely be doing a playthrough of that, maybe some big video that goes up on the page soon. So, and Shania, what's up, my friend? How's it going? We're just signing off. I feel so bad. But thanks for being here, my friend. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with me tonight. We'll be talking Scream again tomorrow night. I know I said we were going to do a bracket stream tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be able to make that happen because I'm in a little bit of a time crunch here. Things are crazy, but we're doing the bracket stream soon, though. I promise that's happening, and the Discord server is also happening. Love you guys so much. Thanks for being here. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all. Peace out.